This video tutorial will contain information related to failover clustering, which is a feature embedded in Microsoft 2008 Enterprise R2, and it allows to have a secondary server that takes the first node in case of a failure. To begin, open your remote desktop connection to server 1 and then go to server manager. Click on the features that is located on the left panel and add features. Select failover clustering. Click next. Install. You have successfully installed failover clustering. So now you need to search for the failover cluster manager in the start menu and open the application. On the right side where it says actions, create a cluster. Accept the default settings and click next. Click on browse and enter the name server 1. Validate the name by clicking on check names and click OK. Click on browse again and enter server 2, server 02. Check the names and click OK. After trying to join server 2 to the cluster, the following error presents, and that is because server 2 does not have failover clustering feature enabled. And to troubleshoot that issue, go to server 2, and it is already open here. So after opening the connection, go to server manager, click on features, add features, and do the following steps as mentioned earlier. Make sure that the firewall of server 2 accepts the forwarding of packets that are directed from server 1. If the firewall is not allowed to access the server 1 to server 2, the connection will be interrupted and it will not be available for the cluster. Browse the server 2 again. As you can see now, server 2 has been successfully added to the cluster. So enter just click on next. In this validating warning, the wizard will check whether the both of servers can be connected to a cluster. So there will be a validation test. Make sure that it says yes and click on next. Click on next again to begin. Select accept the default settings and click next. This shows information that are directed by the user. That they are related to system configuration, storage or network and inventory. Click next, and now the system will be checked. These tests are running now on server 1 and now server 2. As you can see, the test passed, so the cluster should have no problem to install the cluster. Click on finish. Enter a name for the cluster. So it will be Batelco LAN cluster. Type an address for the network. Make sure that the cluster IP address is at the low range or the end of the subnet to avoid any conflict with hosts that can join the cluster. After that, click on next. As you can see that the NetBIOS name can be only limited to 15 characters. Therefore, it will be shortened to Batelco LAN CLU. Click OK. To alter this issue which occurred, remove the cluster and join the words so that they assemble to a one word. Click on next. In the confirmation page, it will display and outline the information related to the nodes and the IP address of the cluster. So click on next to create the new cluster. Click on finish and you have successfully completed creating Cluster Wizard.